very grateful for a number of things. The first one is the fact that this is the fact that there are medical professionals thinking about the impact of AI is big for me, because I feel like it's something that, especially within our ecosystem, we are not keen about what is happening under the bed. And I think this is why I'm saying I'm very excited to be here, because I know that everybody is talking about it, about AI and such, but we need to have concrete policies, concrete positive use case, concrete ways in which we know how AI is impacting our teaching. And as an introduction, as has been done, I'm based at Jomo Kenyatta University. I'm the chairman of the Department of Computing. I'm also involved in the JHub, which is a digital innovation hub that is based at Jomo Kenyatta University, trying to look at solutions in digital, in deep tech. And also a Green Digital Innovation Hub, looking for solutions in that space. So my title is Impact of ChatGPT and Generative Artificial Intelligence Application on Assessment. And when I was told that I'm coming to talk to guys from the health sector, I said, these are the guys who give us this kind of. So as I've been given an opportunity to also torture them. So I said I will try as much as possible to make sure that I also talk about tensors, deep learning, neural network, and this kind of stuff. But the letter of invitation was very clear. Please make sure that your content is friendly to everybody. So my dream was killed, but I was very eager on that. So I want just to illustrate something from this presentation. This is in software development, and I had a case recently. A colleague of mine was marking some students' work. The unit is called data structures and algorithms. And usually what we do for those ones who have done a bit of computing, we do teach algorithms like Fibonacci, those kind of stuff. So the way I was taught, of course, that means that solutions like what AI is providing were not there, is that we could go through it mathematically and then implement it using C and then see how it works. So that's what the lecturer was doing and such. And then I asked him, if you think about this question, because the question was implement Fibonacci algorithm. If you think about this question you have asked, have you checked whether the students have been able to use the ChatGPT or such tools? Because the question is a bit so direct. It doesn't look like it requires any high-level utilization and such. It's an implementation question. And he said, my students will not use that. So the first paper that he was marking, I looked at it and I saw the student had about 3 out of 20, and I said, if in this day and age, it's an assignment, a student can get 3 out of 20, it means that even that student is a bit, I don't know, I felt is a bit on the other end. So but I saw the student had not used any of the ChatGPT tool, the mark were there. But the papers that he had marked, so as I was moving, in the one of the inside there was a statement that maybe the lecturer had not seen, which was saying that we can implement the algorithm in a different way to optimize it. There was an instruction that was clearly from ChatGPT, and the student had gotten very high marks in that. Then I told him, you know, now we have to think different, because this is, for example, what I wrote on the Copilot, implement the Fibonacci algorithm, the instruction. It gives you an algorithm that is highly optimized for the purpose of executing that code. This is just a simple one. And then, this is on 13th March 2024. There is a tool that Microsoft has released called AutoDev, which is automated AI-driven development. Now, what I was talking about here was at the code level. What this tool does is that now it shifts from just the code level to the whole life cycle. I mean, you can be able to put it in a way that the requirements, as long as you've specified the way the requirements are, the tool can help you do the whole kind of analysis, design of the tool, test cases, and that kind of thing. And my students are using this for one of the cases. We are writing a paper around this because I found it very interesting. This now, for me, breaks the whole, leave alone now what we have been talking about, just the codes. You see now here we are talking about the life cycle of software development, from the issue of coding to the issue of even writing test cases. So in other words, I say this is a tool that changes everything now in another angle. It changes the way development is done, and we need to think differently. So here is my observation. AI is going to be a reality, and it is a reality, of course, for everybody where we are. The influence on education is meant to revolutionize it. The teaching method, the approach to assessment, the way we assess, and this is what we are supposed to talk about. It is going to provide some issues of personalized evaluation. And this is where maybe sometimes I have asked, because the first project that we did on AI, we were doing it with some student who had some images on cancer, from cervical cancer and such. And we were looking at how we can use convolutional neural network to try and help doctors be able to identify. So in the course of our discussion and the paper that we wrote, we were trying to say this tool will work with a doctor and that kind of a thing. And are you, just to ask, because now you are in health sector, are you worried that one day this will be your companion in the surgery room or such? Are you thinking about that, or even out there in the field? It is already is. So this is the issue. And this is why now I'm saying here, because there is that aspect that technology is infallible, and then you as a doctor, because when you look at most people working with doctors. So the question is, are you irreplaceable? But I'm not challenging you. I'm just saying at the point of it's an open discussion. So these are some of the results that we have seen coming out. AI has better bedside manners than human doctors, and it makes better diagnosis. AI can outperform doctors, so why don't patients trust it and all that? And I think there are also enough papers looking at that kind of ideas. This is the argument in terms of the way to revolutionize education. Sorry. So the way to revolutionize education, including how we interact and how information and how we construct knowledge. This is an issue about it. So there is a quote that was put by a friend of mine called Barry, which I found to be very important. He says, so what are the characteristics of an assignment that AI cannot fully succeed in writing? That's a question. But is that the right question? Or is the question we should be asking should be this: how do I design an assessment that makes my student want to truly learn? What motivates inquiry and expression? And that for me is really what we have to think about, working alongside that kind of thing. I saw, this is some of the histories that we have gone. These are maths teacher demonstrating against the calculator. So, because the calculator was supposed to, and you remember even when it was introduced for the guys CSE, there was a lot of questions around that. And this is what now, I don't believe my university said this, but this is what was captured in some media. I found it somewhere, that JKUAT to expel students found using ChatGPT during an exam. Well, yeah?
There's a memo here.
Yeah. So, but the way it was, the way it looks like, well, maybe context was very important, because in an exam room, perhaps that's now where we need to really think what are the teaching capabilities that we need. So, the calculators, the spell check, the autocorrect technologies, Google introduced the autocomplete. Language teachers start utilizing Google Translate. Research and recommendation on how we can be able to use them effectively. So this is the Open AI in March 2nd, 2023, the creation or the release of an API that everybody can now be able to use. Of course, you remember the November 2022 when this tool was released, but I'm talking about now where you have APIs that you can be able to use. The ChatGPT utilizes neural network, machine learning, and it uses a lot of data to be able to analyze from there. And the main difference as a machine learning expert, if you look at it, is the fact that initially features, we are the one who are coding the features. So human being were coding the features. This time round, you are giving it to be able to extract the features from the data or from the examples that you are giving it. In fact, if you listen to some of the arguments around how the eventual deep neural network works, is that even the people who designed them did not think it would work. Yeah, they didn't think that it would work because of the way it is. So the ChatGPT education role evolution marks a transition from conventional instruction tool to an intelligent facilitator, and onwards to an active participant in the learning process, denoting a profound metamorphosis in function. The way I see it is that we will have to look at the way we interact with it and the way we use it. So, what are some of the characteristics that I can take from the ChatGPT? Because we need to know the whole cycle. Some of them is unpredictability, right? These are things that we'll get from it. The same prompt can yield different results, highlighting the non-deterministic nature of Gen AI. Cross-tool variability, using the same prompt across different AI tools, result in varied outputs. That is undermining the unique capability of each tool. Underlining that, educational impact, it represents a significant addition to technology tools in higher education without inducing panic among faculty. Maybe the question is, there was an argument that was done that asked, are faculty members worried, especially for people like who are doing software engineer, like for example my job. I have always asked myself whether this is, considering even the tool that I've talked about, am I supposed to panic, or how is it? So here are some tools that maybe I just need to mention that are available to our students and that we need to be able to know. For example, ChatGPT, we have Gemini, that is bad. We have Crowdia. These are some of the tools that we have. More tools here. If you look at writing tools, Write for Me. Yeah, Writer Taylor, engaging content with focus on quality. Humanize Pro. That one writes code, that writes content that now is more friendly to human, as what it says. Text to Video Maker. You have AI Humanizer Pro. You have Book Creator Guide, Essay Writer. These are tools that already exist, and you can get the APIs. Yeah, you can get the APIs for them. We also have for education, we have math. This is a math tool. We have Universal Primer, fastest way to run anything. Tutor Me, Question Maker, if you can set up exams. Vox Script. We also have the Math Solver. These are all tools that generally available. Images, Dare. The image that I shared there was generated using Dare, the one of them. Data analyst. I know we are also teaching some for guys doing infectious disease modeling and all that. You have a tool that I gave data from the open platform, and then it just posts data there and does the simple jobs for you. Now add the fact that I can write a statement asking it what question, good question, as long as I have the ability to pose the right question, then I can be able to do that. Hot modes, that is image into something really well, can do that. Coloring Book Hero. These are all tools that are available within that kind of thing. And if you look at this growth, I see it's going to be, especially when you think about this, used for content creation, which is now where the real job is. Of course, the simple idea was that it is predicting the next word. That is the general idea. But as those tools have demonstrated, they are doing a very good job in terms of the way they are giving us the results. Now, so what are we supposed to do? This image was generated by ChatGPT. This is a real one, where a student had a bottle of water and had written Mwakenya. I think we all know in that had written there. So you think they are taking water, but they have put the formulas there so that they don't forget. Of course, that has changed. Now this is what you have in the I have a smartwatch, and then you can be able to just ask questions. And you have seen even some universities now banning the use of smartwatches in the classrooms and all that. And that's where we are living. So how do we then integrate it? So I tried to look at the integration more, because the issue is that you have to agree that this is a tool we'll have to work with. This is a tool now that is part of the assets that students have. So there are opportunities, there are challenges, and there are priorities within there, and then there are barriers that we need to look at. Number one is opportunity that exists within there. You as a lecturer, you're not there 24/7 in terms of answering questions, but this tool is available to the students. In fact, if I had a student now, well, if I had a kid who is in maybe high school or university, so to speak, among the pocket money or when I'm calculating, I would be able to provide them with some tokens to access the API, to access the open API token, because they can do more, they can be more productive. I mean, I'm not telling them to use them in the exam, and I'll show you how now, on the other hand, as a lecturer, you need to defend yourself in being able to do that, my proposals. But I'm saying I will give them, because there is an opportunity for personalized learning and tutoring. There is an opportunity for supplementary learning resources that they can get, resources that maybe you are not even aware of what you use. There is the issue of communication skills improving. There was we were reasoning, we had a meeting with one of the journalists, and what that journalist said is something that I feel is profound. She said this, that initially she used to write one article per week. These days, of course, with the tool, because the tools are helping her become more productive, she's doing more than 3 articles, or it can even do more than 3 articles per week. So can do more than 3 articles that are based on certain areas, and this is high-level improvement. And you can do even more for sure. I believe that it is only that she's being careful on that. You can do even more than 3 in that case. So what she said, the most important thing was not even that. The most important thing that she said is that what is happening is that she has realized her language or her way of writing is being modified as she continues using the tool. She's becoming a better communicator when using this kind of tool. So eventually it ends up being like a tutor, and this is something that is happening implicitly. So innovative learning experience, research and data analysis, all those are their challenges. Academic integrity, and that's something that we're looking at there. Quality control, personalized learning, expert and authority, communication and collaboration. This is the barriers, lack of awareness. And that's why I say, I feel like, I said at the beginning, I'm very excited because this is people in healthcare bringing in that we need to talk about these things. This is there are many conferences happening around there, but I feel that we need to really have that conversation around awareness so that we know what our students have. Technological barriers, resource constraint, like for example what I've said, if you're using the ChatGPT, the regular one, some of the premium content, you may not get that. And yet premium content gives you even higher wings to fly. I mean, it gives you more capability. Priorities, policy development, I've said that's a big issue, education and training, collaboration and interdisciplinary efforts. So I went and said, now as assessors or people who are doing assessment, what should we do? If you look at Bloom's taxonomy, the one that is revised, you realize that it is now time that we start concentrating heavily on the higher level aspects. Higher level aspects have always been insisted on, and that's very important. So that, for example, just to give a clear example, there is the implementation by Microsoft of 21st century learning design. This is a complete course that exists for, and I would recommend every lecturer or every person involved in teaching to try and take this course. Because these are the things that it looks at. It says there is enough research to look at the 21st century dimensions and or skills. This is knowledge construction. This is collaboration. This is real-world problem solving and innovation, skilled communication, self-regulation, information and communication technology for learning. In other words, how do you use technology? Because how do you use technology to enable your work or even to become more effective? Because this is the issue with that. Just like I mentioned, people who are using these tools, even try to, if you have a secretary, assuming you are the dean, have a secretary, and the secretary is able to use these kind of tools, the truth of the matter is this, that should make you have wings as well. I'm just... yeah, so, yeah, this, if you look at now the evaluation, this is, for example, the knowledge construction. Every time you prepare content that you want students to be able to assess, based on this criteria here, each one of them is broken down into sections on what we need to evaluate. And if you look at this one, this is the highest level. Whether the learning activity main requirement is knowledge construction, that there are new ideas that will come from the many ideas that you have taught the student and all that. So we look at that. The other one that is supposed to be coming there is the learning activity does require learners to apply their knowledge in a new context. And then we have, and the knowledge building is multidisciplinary. We cannot work in silos as well. So this is the course. It's called 21st Century Learning Design. Well researched but well packaged by Microsoft. You can easily look at it. There is a lot of training on it and even a certificate that instructors or lecturers can take to be able to improve the kind of assessment that you do, so that students don't just use the ChatGPT and give you answers and then you give them all the marks and then eventually when they finish they say, this fellow never knew. So, if you think about even the assignment that we give, try to localize those assignments, right? Try to localize them. Highlight the importance of incorporating class discussions, specific text, and also recent events, so that even in that, you will be able to help the students think more and even have what is called problem-based learning. Personal reflection, explaining how personal reflections ensure authenticity of the work. Exploratory activity, discussing the value of hands-on activities that require personalized thinking beyond what AI can generate. Very important that I'm actually proposing, we have a cohort that we have taken of students that we are going to really have to change completely the way our university, university, we are all in public university. Our curriculum take about 4 years to change or even to modify. In tech space, how long has it taken for ChatGPT to get to where it is now, if you think about it? Yeah, so 5 years is a decade or a century for that kind of work. So we have taken a cohort of students who we are teaching software engineering away from the regular mainstream one, and we are experimenting on how this student can be taught using ChatGPT. So instead of trying to go there and telling them, don't use ChatGPT, we tell them, please, I want you to make use of it, but I want you to make use of it in this way and this kind of thing. And we have given them 4 months. We are experimenting with them so that we see what can be the output. Most of the students are not from programming background. The kind of courses that we are teaching them are related to solutions, innovation solutions that they have the domain knowledge from health, from agriculture, from such, but we want them to use these technologies we will show them, we'll teach them prompt engineering, we'll teach them how to for example, design good prompt for the ChatGPT. We'll expose them to this kind of tool and see, can they become more productive in that case. So, assignment formatting, offering strategies for formatting assignments can also help you. Maybe instead of telling students that you just want this, you give them the sections that they need to put. Very important on that. And then, as we navigate the frontier of education with tools like ChatGPT and other generative AI applications, we are not just evolving how we assess knowledge. we are redefining what it means to run. Maybe from AI, when I go to introduce AI to the student, I ask them a bird fries, but also an airplane fries. So, but they all do it differently. So, is it, that is the issue. The question is, can we say that an airplane is flying, considering that the activity of flying is done differently? We have always claimed that human beings are unique in the way they perceive knowledge because we have maybe empathy and all those kind of things. But who told you knowledge has requirement? Anyway, it's a discussion that is happening. So, reflecting the depth of human intellect and the boundless potential for innovation, yet they also pose a profound question. How do we measure learning in the era where knowledge creation is not just about answers we find, but the questions we dare to ask? Hence, the reason as to why I would say, when you're teaching students, focus on problem solving, how they can become better problem solvers and understand that. Because then they can be able to ask the right question. And that moves the knowledge from, even in the Bloom's taxonomy, it moves it from the higher level of the kind of things that we're asking. In embracing those tools, we commit to a journey of discovery, one where the ultimate assessment lies in our ability to integrate, innovate, inspire. And that is also a quote that was put. You can see where it is coming from. So that is why I'm saying that quote has a lot of value in what we have here. So I think that's what I wanted to present. Thank you so much for that.